and that too specifically Cisco's SD-WAN training. If we discuss the course outline, there are certain things that we're going to focus on, and every topic will also have some subtopics which are going to be included in the course outline. But the very first thing that we're going to focus on will be introduction to SDN, that is software defined networking. Since majority of the discussions are going to happen around SDN itself, because we are moving from a traditional way of managing our network infrastructure to software defined way of managing our network infrastructure, we being the learners should be aware about what all are the key advantages that we're looking forward to when we migrate from traditional networking to software defined networking, right? So we will be spending a good amount of time getting to know about how the operations work in terms of managing the network infrastructure the traditional way, and then jump into SDN. So after that, we will get to know about the SD-WAN. So we will jump then in SD-WAN fundamentals. Then we will discuss about the components and architecture of SD-WAN. Post that, so in the components and architecture of SD-WAN, we're going to talk about all the control plane, data plane, management plane, and orchestration plane, and what all are the components that are associated with these planes. For example, the vManager, vBond, vSmart, and vAnage. All of these components of SD-WAN are associated with one or the other planes. So how does those roles are incorporated in the SD-WAN solution? That's exactly what we're going to talk in this section. After that, we will dig deeper into the control plane and data plane operations. Right? So how the important information, be it routing protocol, or be it routing tables, be it the IPsec key negotiations, be it the policy distribution, be it the configuration distribution, how does that actually happens between the control plane and data planes, and what all are the protocols that are involved in making this communication possible, since SD-WAN or Viptela SD-WAN or Cisco SD-WAN uses overlay management protocol, OMP, as it's one of the major protocol in order to transmit or send all this information from one point to the other point. We will try to understand how that works. And if you are good with this section of the training, then it's more like you understand around 50% of how and what SD-WAN is all about. So these two sections specifically are quite important sections in our training. Once we're good, and this is all kind of theoretical discussions that we're gonna have. Post that, we will then jump into labs. So we will start with onboarding our controllers, or rather you can say controller sites. Then we will onboard our branch sites, right? Then we will establish site to site connectivity between different branches that have become part of the SD-WAN fabric. And after that, we will be speaking about manipulating fabric configuration using both CLI and GUI methods. Since if you are already aware about, when you have your WAN edge, the WAN edge can be part of or can either be in CLI mode or it can be in GUI mode. So if the vantage is in CLI mode, then the management plane will be local to the vantage. But if the vantage is in GUI mode, then the management plane is going to be central. What does that mean is if your vantage is in CLI mode, you will be able to dive into the CLI of the device and do any configuration modifications from the device. But if the vantage is in GUI mode, then in that particular case, the vantage has to be configured and managed from vManager, which is one of the centralized controller that we get in SD-WAN. So we will be exploring both of those options over here. And the component or the feature that we use to control all the vanages from GUI mode is SD-WAN templates. So we will learn how does templates generally work. After that, post that, we will also implement something called direct internet access. Right? In direct internet access, we will speak about how we can provide outside connectivity, which is internet connectivity, to the endpoints which are part of our sites. Usually whenever it's going to be site-to-site communication, then the vanages are going to communicate with each other, or the endpoints which are connected back of the vanages are going to be communicating with each other using the overlay tunnels that we built around the or across the fabric. But if the hosts which are connected at the back of the vantage wants to communicate with the public internet or the internet resources globally, then the communication has to be done in the underlay way. And there are a couple of ways how you can facilitate this using the centralized internet breakout and localized internet breakout. These are a couple of ways you can achieve this in the SD-WAN fabric, and we will be speaking about both of them. Also, we will be implementing labs for this. So whatever we speak about from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, everything after the theoretical sections are going to be kind of theory plus lab. Yep. Post the SD-WAN or post the direct internet access, then we will jump into SD-WAN policies. We'll be exploring centralized policies as well as localized policies in the SD-WAN fabric and try to manipulate the LAN and WAN infrastructure that we have here. And lastly, we will be speaking about the SD-WAN security. Also, we'll be talking about the high availability. In SD-WAN. So majority of these sections are going to be theory plus lab. Now how the lab is going to be implemented for this, then you can say that we're going to have various type of sites in our lab topology. So we're going to build up a topology that works in a way where we have vManager, then we have vBond, we have vSmart, and we have a certificate authority server, and all of these particular devices are connected to a layer 3 switch, right? The vManager on the back end will be connected to an admin PC. So that's gonna be kind of your controller site which you manage. Post that, this layer 3 switch will be connected out to a couple of transports. So we might have iNet as one of our transport and MPLS as another transport. Then we would be managing some sites. So we have vantage number 1, let's say vantage number 2 that connects to iNet and MPLS both. So we have device redundancy as well as link redundancy available in one of our site, and I'm going to keep both of these particular vanages in one side. Also, we are going to have firewall there, ASAV, and all of these devices connects back into a layer 3 switch. So here, and these are going to just be in single side. This way. Post that, we might have a WAN edge number 3 that connects again to both of these particular transports, and there will be router behind it. That's one more site which we will be having. Post that, we will be having a WAN edge number 4, which again connects to both of these transports, and a router behind that representing the LAN network. So another one, and then we have WAN edge number 5, which connects to MPLS only, and a router behind that. So this is kind of going to be our initial topology which we will be building up. We will also be performing some add-ons onto this particular topology. So majority of our WAN edges, be it this, and this, all of them will be in control of the controllers, and then they will also be maintaining the overlay tunnels from each other, right? So that's gonna be done. So this entire topology will be built from scratch in order to test all of these particular topics that we have discussed just, and let's see how that goes up. But that's been about the introduction session. I hope you understand the content that we're going to cover in this particular training, as well as the lab that we're going to build up. What all are the resources and images and softwares that will be required to build up this home lab setup will be shared with you guys, along with the installation tips and tricks. So let's see how that goes up. That's been about our introductory video. I hope you enjoyed the content of the session, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.